Hello everyone, welcome to the online course on research methodology. In today's video, we are going to learn about citation, references, and bibliography. So every research scholar must know the difference between the citation, references, and bibliography. So in this particular video, we are going to discuss the difference between citation, references, and bibliography, and I will also take the examples that how citation is mentioned, what is the style of preparing the references, and how the bibliography is mentioned in a particular research paper or a particular dissertation or a thesis. So this video will be very much helpful to those who want to know about citation, references, and bibliography. So let us start with the difference among citation, references, and bibliography. So to know about citation, citation is a brief mention within the text to acknowledge the source of specific information, ideas, or quotes. So while you are writing a particular text, and in within that particular text you want to mention the source from which you have taken that particular reference, that will be mentioned as citation. But if we talk about reference, so reference is the detailed list of all the sources that you have cited in a particular text. So if you have written a paragraph, and in that particular paragraph you have taken the ideas from three different resources, so all these three different resources will be listed out at the end of that particular paper, and that list at the end is known as the reference. But the three resources from which you have taken that particular idea, at that particular place it will be mentioned. So if you mention in that particular text, it is considered as citation. But if you mention it in a full detail list at the end of the paper, it is considered as a reference. Now if we talk about bibliography, so bibliography is a list of all the resources consulted during the research, whether cited or not. So bibliography is the whole list. Whether you have mentioned in the citation or not, you will add it into the bibliography, or it is the complete list of all the sources from which the researcher has gathered the information. So the complete list of all the sources at the end of the paper or at the end of the research thesis is considered as bibliography. Now if we talk about citation, citation usually appears in the form of in-text citation. Now what is in-text citation? This is the example. We can see example as Smith 2020. So at the end of every text you mention this kind of words, or you can mention it at the footnote or endnote also. So this is the form of preparing citation. Now if we talk about reference, so reference always appears at the end of the paper, typically labeled as reference or works cited. So below the level of reference, or below the level of work cited, you mention all the sources from which you have taken the information and which are cited in the text. So those sources which are cited in the text are mentioned at the end of the paper. They are known as references. Now if we talk about bibliography, so bibliography is at the end of the document and usually labeled as bibliography. So now if we want to differentiate between reference and bibliography, so references includes only those sources which are cited here, which are cited in text. But bibliography includes all those resources, list all those resources which are cited as well as not cited. If you are not mentioned in the text, then also you will list out those sources at the end of the thesis or at the end of the paper in the title of bibliography. So it is the full list of all the sources that you have referred, that is known as bibliography. Now if we talk about citation, citation provides just enough information for the reader to find the full source in the reference or bibliography. So citation is the hint that gives you the information about the source, that this particular idea is taken from this source. But reference includes the full detail of the author, the title, the publication year, and the publisher for the cited source. So a citation is only the hint, whereas reference is the full detail about the source that you have referred. And bibliography, it includes all the consulted sources whether or not directly cited in the text. So it is all those resources which are consulted, whether they are cited or not, they will be included in the form of bibliography. Now again, this is the example of citation. So wherever you have taken the idea from a particular source, at the end of that particular text, you will mention like this. This can be in the bracket also, or it can be without the bracket also. You can give a number, number one, Smith 2020, and after completion of this particular sentence, if you have taken the next sentence from the John 2022, so that will appear there at the end of every sentence or every idea. This citation will be mentioned. As I said, it can be within the bracket or it can be numbered like this, 1 2 3 4. Okay. And then if we talk about reference, reference appears at the end of the paper. This is the example. See, you can see citation is very short. It is a very short detail, Smith 2020. But if we talk about reference, it includes the full detail, Smith J 2020. This is the title of the paper, the impact of reading, and then the publisher, that is ABC Publishing. So the full information about the source appears in the reference, whereas the hint about the source appears in the citation. And bibliography, so bibliography includes this reference. Reference is already included in the bibliography, plus any additional source that you have mentioned, that you have referred, that you have consulted, whether it is mentioned in the reference or not, whether it is cited here or not, but it will appear in the bibliography. So bibliography includes the references plus all those resources that are not cited. So the reference is included plus all those resources which are not cited, they will also be mentioned in the bibliography. And citation are used to give credit and avoid plagiarism within the text. So this is the use of citation. Why it is used? It is used to give credit to a particular person or the particular researcher, that you have taken the idea from that particular research. So you want to give credit to that particular researcher. So citation is used to give credit to the researcher, and in order to avoid the plagiarism within the text. Besides, references are used to provide readers with the full details of the sources to allow them to locate the material. Now, if a particular researcher wants to know, or a reader wants to know the full text, then the full detail about that particular source can be found out in the reference. And then bibliography. Now, bibliography is used to provide exhaustive list of all the relevant literature, even if cited or not. So, all the literature that a researcher has referred to, all the literature that the researcher has consulted, that will appear in the list of bibliography. So, the reader may come to know that the researcher has consulted these many resources in order to write down this research paper. And in citation, each citation corresponds to an entry in the reference list. So every citation will go in the reference list. Um, whether there are 10 citations or 20 citations, all these citations will be elaborately given in the reference list. So reference list will include only those things that are included in the citation. So those citations which are mentioned, they will appear in full detail in the reference. But bibliography includes both the works which are cited and which are not cited. So all the resources which the researcher has consulted, they will appear in the bibliography. So bibliography gives often a broader view of the research process. That means it includes all those sources that the researcher has consulted with. So this is the difference between citation, references, and bibliography. I hope this will be very much helpful to the upcoming researchers, and it will be adding to the knowledge, or it will be useful while you are writing a particular research paper or you are preparing your dissertation. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Goodbye.